What is this? This is a key. What do you use a key for? To open doors? No. Doors can open and close. That's what doors are designed for. A door separates two spaces. However, certain spaces contain valuable goods or documented information is stored there. So you don't want everyone to have access to it. So you put a lock on it, and only those who have the device to unlock it, namely the key, they can enter it. It's a way to make sure only the right people get access to certain goods or certain information. Or it can be that you don't trust people around you, and that's why you put a lock on your door when you close the door behind you when you arrive at home. Now, having a lock on a door prevents unwanted people from entering in. That's true. But there must be a lock on it. Without the lock, it's useless. Now, we know keys are meant to unlock things or to lock things. That's what keys are meant to do. So it's the lock that becomes the quote-unquote security we rely on. And by the way, criminals manage to break locks anyway. But anyway, just because criminals can break locks doesn't mean it's useless to put a lock on your door. Now, why am I talking about keys now? It is because there's a trick the enemy is using. And this trick is an old one. But this trick works so well that often we're not even aware this trick's being used on us. It's quite simple. If you don't want your enemy, because Satan perceives believers as his enemies. Now, we're not even interested in that guy, but anyway, he sees us as an enemy because we are interrupting his dark grip on the human species. So Satan sees us as his enemies, okay? It goes like this. If you don't want your enemy to become a threat to you, distract them with something else. Or let me say it like this. Offer your enemy an opportunity that will keep them away from where you don't want them. For example, let's say that you have a bunch of young people in a town. And the young people now want to move out of the town. And nearby, there's a lot of empty land where you can build farms. Now, what would happen if lots of young people saw this, that there is a lot of empty land over there? You get it. They will decide, why do we stay in this town? We can go there and build our own estates. So now, the local governor of the area, who plans to sell those empty plots of land to some corporation, doesn't want the young people to notice those empty plots of land are there. So, what does he do? He puts carnivals over there. He builds an amusement park. He builds a cinema or a mall. And now the young people tend to go to the cinema or tend to go to the mall, or they tend to do other things in the urban area. And because of that, the young people don't notice the empty plots of land over there. And because of that, the governor can sell that plot of land to some corporations smoothly without any resistance. 3 years from now, all that plot of land that could have been used for farming is now used by a corporation. And now in this industrial area over there. Now, if the public there knew there will be an industrial area nearby, they would say, hold on a minute. If an industrial area is built over there, that means it will attract a lot of workers. Where are the workers coming from? Oh, they're coming from China, from other places, and where else are people going to live? In our town? That means that we need to build more houses or more accommodation because we don't have enough space to house all those people. So, long story short, there is this economic project to build this economic zone over there and to have a lot of foreigners to come over there and to live in that town. And there are also real estate offices ready to build new apartments over there or build new flats over there just to house the new migrants are coming. Now the local population, especially young people, have no interest in seeing their hometown changing like that. They don't want their hometown to become this hub for migrants who don't share their values and their local culture. So, if the young people would have been aware of this plan to build this economic zone for economic migrants from Asia, do you think they would allow it to happen? No, they would have protested and hindered it. So, the governor, or the leading politician who's part of this plot, he had to distract the people who would otherwise sabotage the project. And he did that by investing $100 million in building this big mall with cinemas, all of that, just to entertain the young people, so young people wouldn't even notice anything else. Now, that example I gave to you, that's how Satan operates with a lot of believers. He will give you some keys, or better, some knowledge. Satan will give you some knowledge that you can use to get ahead. But this knowledge doesn't come with a context. It's just knowledge. So you think, hey, it's just information I can use for good. But here's the thing. The human mind doesn't operate that way. Everything we receive must come in a package. Because if information comes to you, but it doesn't come in a context, it will confuse you. So what Satan is actually doing is he's overwhelming you with information, but you think you get insight, and you do get insight, but there is no Christ-centered context. And because of this, you end up losing yourself in all that information. And because you end up drained and stressed out, figuring things out, you don't notice that there were multiple people around you who needed your ministry. Or you don't notice that, you know what? There is a deficit here when it comes to orphanages. You know what? I can start a foundation to build orphanages to help young people. So there were things you were able to do to benefit the community, to glorify Christ, and Satan hindered you from doing those things because you were occupied with building your own business empire, for example. Now, information is information, but information without a context is disinformation. Why? Because if the information doesn't come in a context, it can only deform you. And because it deforms you, it's the same as if it's disinformation. So, beware with the disinformation bait that Satan often uses on people. Just because you gain new insight doesn't mean that insight will benefit you. Okay? If you gain new insight, walk by faith, pray and fast about it, and see what the Holy Spirit wants you to do with it. And that's why movements like the New Age are quite dangerous, because you get a lot of insight, but it's no Christ-centered context. So you end up with this self-focus, thinking that you have to be your own Christ to get things done. And that's not possible. So, beware with the disinformation bait. The enemy will hand knowledge to you through various people, which he's using just to distract you from the greater things you could have been doing. Maybe you have your own, maybe you are a manager at, let's say, a bank right now, and you think you earn good money, you take care of your family, that's good. But maybe the Heavenly Father wanted you to have 5 companies right now running on multiple continents. But because you were distracted with this career, now you didn't notice all the other potential you had. So Satan managed to hinder you from sabotaging him. Because if you would have had those 5 companies on multiple continents, it would have been very hard for devil worshippers to do their thing. So Satan knew that attacking you would backfire, so Satan distracted you with a substitute project. Now you may ask, shit, how do you recognize a substitute project? Check the context. Because remember, when God promotes you, when God exalts you, it's always going to happen in such a way that he gets a credit. It will never happen in such a way that you can boast about it. The Heavenly Father does this both to protect you and to make sure everyone sees that he's behind it. When Satan offers you something, it will always be centered around your effort. Now, your effort is involved also when God blesses you, but it shouldn't be centering around your effort. Just be aware of this. Well, that's it for now. I need to do the laundry now. Keep on cremate Christ. Be at peace, and I'll see you next time.